heart attack. Fast fatal heart impact. Past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions. Fact, don't ask. Grab reactions. Jacked attack with every word. Then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused. Call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new submerged juice. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now. Y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kyusho here, and now, before we do begin, I do want to say a few things about the last part. Now, in the last part, we had Deku, his people, and multiple other survivor camps from the city. Now, they all came together after the water was turned off, and they talked about a few things. 5 months have passed since Jiro was shot. Then, the water got turned off. The people at the water filtration facility, or the dam, they may have realized what these people might have done. However, that's just the problem. The last time they saw those people, it was just before the winter started. And those people, some of them they didn't seem to be doing too good. Deku assumed because of the tainted meats that multiple settlements were handing out to these people, that eventually things may have broken down. Maybe they have, maybe they haven't. They need to investigate it. Or wait for these people to show up. Right now they're expecting them very soon. However, there was a problem. Multiple different people, they're starting to get a little bit antsy. Right now, some settlements, they have backup supplies of water. Basically, large containers they stockpiled for this event. And some settlements, they didn't do that. Now, with that being said, we do currently pick up with Deku. Deku, he's waiting today. Today's the day those people are supposed to be coming by. It's been a little over 2 years since the apocalypse started. And it's almost been 2 years and 1 month. Now, these people, they're supposed to be showing up today. However, so far today, they haven't shown their faces. And Deku is currently sitting on the stairs and waiting. Some of the supplies are out front. And Deku is sitting there with a rifle and, well, something to drink. As he is talking to a few people who, they eventually did start to go back inside. And some did head out on their own scavenging missions. Now, Deku has gotten no word from the front gate, and at this point, it's a bit more worrying. The messengers were supposed to show up today. However, they haven't yet. And that's something that he does somewhat jot down in his head. Maybe these people, they're running behind. Maybe they're still trying to get things together. Maybe they aren't coming. Or maybe they're somewhere else right now. And Deku does finally decide to break the radio silence. Him asking some other settlements nearby if the people have showed up at their camps. And so far, the answer is no. And that is something that he does at least think about. Okay, so they have enough water to last them a bit of time. If they do somewhat start to, ration it, then people can at least get things done. And they can hold out for the most amount of time. However, if they do just start drinking it and using it for what they need to, then they'll run out of it a lot faster. So they need to be aware. They need to be careful with this. Now, 2 weeks would pass by just like that, and still no word. Some settlements, they're starting to get a bit more worried. And some have actually taken to trading water with other settlements, because of exactly how much more important it is getting. And people, they're still confused by what Deku he is doing. Some people, they have thought to go investigate the dam, and there is a problem with that. Of the small groups that have been sent out from different settlements, they have not reported back, and that it is actually somewhat worrying. Those people might be holding up and staying behind their own walls waiting for them. And that's something that Deku, he does take into account. Okay, so these people are waiting for them. And if that's the case, then the dam, it may actually be a fortress. They might actually have to go on a real war to get drinking water back up. And that's something that he is considering. As we do have where he does sit a few people down and explain to them what's going to be happening. And some people, they are a bit more annoyed. And we do currently have Deku, Kendo, Toga, and Kirishima. Deku has talked to a few of them. Him and another group of people, they're going to be heading out to the dam. And when they do so, they are going to be stopping very close by and walking the rest of the way on foot. Now, a lot of people, they were somewhat worried about that. If they're going to walk on foot out there in the wilderness with zombies, they're going to need to be equipped with proper equipment. And Deku, he has prepared a few things. Right now they do have the MREs from whenever he found them a few months back. The meals ready to eat. And Deku, he did somewhat hide those away. Because he knew that those, yeah, they were things that can last a very long time. And they did seem to be very calorie dense. So, for an emergency. And then there actually is that, well, filter system he did find. With that stuff, or at least that little filter, they can filter a lot of water and drink a lot on the road. They can stop by a stream and drink from it, and they should be okay. Or they can make camp for the night and boil some water. There is still the river very close by, which some people, they have actually taken to going to and bring back some water for their crops, so as to not waste the water they might need. And while that is still a little bit more dangerous, there is a certain risk involved with it. Now, with that being said, Deku and at least another truck of people do head out. And right now the settlements have been informed about what is happening. This time, Deku's team are the ones who might go missing. And the leader, he is heading there personally. So, if they're going to find something out, they're going to find something out. Now, we do actually have on the way there, where everybody in the car, they were somewhat talking. Kendo was currently driving. Kirishima was in the back seat with Toga. And Deku, he is actually bringing up a few things to a few people. Him talking with a few of the people in the other vehicle. And they would head to the facility. Now, we do eventually have when they get there. It took them about, if I do want to put a time frame to it, since they're 30 minutes outside the city, let's say they're about 45 minutes away from the dam. And right now, when they do eventually get there, thanks to having to go through a few twists and turns and even going through different roads, they do eventually find a place to park. And whenever they do hide the vehicles closer into the forest on the side of the road, they do start to grab their gear. Sidearms, knives, and spears. Along with that, bow and arrows and rifles. Along with that, they do still at least have the meals ready to eat, and they do even have some water containers. Now, they also do have their radios, and everybody, they do start to walk. And we do currently have Deku and Kendo, as they're both walking on the side of the road. And they do currently pass by a few burned out vehicles. As Deku, he is next to her on her left. So, what do you think that we're going to find there? I don't know. But Deku going to look towards the vehicle, as he does try to make sure there's nothing behind it. Him somewhat going to grab towards his knife, as he did walk by it, before letting go of it. I'm just somewhat worried. Either this place is turned off, the people are there, or we have a bit of a problem. Hmm? A problem? Yeah. What if we accidentally made a nest? Hmm. You mean, yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, we know the zombies group together. We know that they pile together. And right now, we know very little about the new variants. So far, we've only seen them in cities. And out here, it does seem like a lot of the zombies we're seeing are just normal. They're the regular husk. Hmm? Yeah, you're right about that. It's somewhat of a nice change of pace, you know? Hmm. Yeah, I get it. It's nice to not have to be able to. It's nice to be able to just relax a bit more. Granted, we have to worry about the husk, but not as much as the other variants. Yeah, I can understand that. Mm-hmm. So, have you talked to Momo? Momo, she's still mourning. Yeah, I mean, I can understand it. Now, you do actually have Toguro is going to cut in, talking about how Momo, she actually was a little bit more concerning the last time they left. She was trying to keep herself together. However, it does seem like she is still in the process of going through it, you know? Hmm. It makes sense, Toga. But, I mean, we're all hurt by it, right? I mean, we all knew her, but she's acting like she's the only one allowed to grieve. I know that sounds messed up, but I mean, that's just how I see it. Now, a few of the people do go to butt in, and they do try to at least talk about Momo. Momo, she's been very distant since it happened, and she just isn't as social as she used to be. Now, we do actually have where Deku, he does, after a bit of time, look at something. There's currently an old gas station on the side of the road, and right now, they do go to look ahead of them. The dam, it's going to be a bit more of a walk from here, at least another 2 or 3 hours. So for right now, they are going to have to take a break. They've already been walking for a bit of time. So for right now, they're going to need to take a rest, and perhaps they can at least look around the area. The old gas station, yeah. If they're able to turn the power back on here, or maybe even just look around a bit, they might be able to find a way to get some gas. Maybe if they're lucky, one of the cars at the pump, they might have a full tank, and they could just siphon it away. And that's something that a few people, they do talk about. As everybody would head inside and clear out some of the zombie husk that are inside. Now, once that's done, we do actually have where they do go to somewhat sit down and try to relax. As Kendo, she does go to sit down on the counter. As she does go to look over and see the cash register. Her looking to see that there is some blood on top of it. And that it is still open. Her going to lean backwards and see that all the cash has been taken from it. So sadly, people were still like that. However, we do actually have Deku, who he is scavenging around, and he does get to pull something out. Him talking about how he found it underneath one of the shelves, and it seems like somebody forgot to pick it up. As he did a walk over to Kendo and sit down, him holding it up. No way. Yes way. I mean, look at this. Now, Deku just hold up a candy bar. And Kendo, yeah. Just talk about how those ones are the best. And she can't believe that he actually found something. Yeah. I mean, There's still some stuff here, but it looks like a lot of it is bad. Yeah, you're right about that. But I mean, we found some water, extra water. Yeah, that's good. But I mean, the sodas and what? The alcohol? That looks like it was ransacked. I mean, plus, Deku pointing it out. Him talking about how who the hell crashes a truck through a gas station? As he does get a look towards the vehicle. Yeah, that, isn't too good. So, what do you plan to do with that? Oh, this? Uh, I don't know. I mean, we could trade it for something. Trading it seems like a bit of a waste, don't you think? You think? Well, what should I do with it then? Well, you could give it to me. Really? I mean, come on. You're not gonna at least try and give me a bit of an offer? A trade? Hmm, okay. Oh, what do you want for it? Now, Digga is going, somewhat just going to smile, and Kendo just stare back at him. Her, someone going to clock him in the arm, talking about how he needs to actually give her a bit of an answer, because she might just make assumptions. And right now, she isn't in the mood, because she's been wanting a candy bar for a long time. Well, I can think of a few ideas, but you're gonna have to take a guess. Now, Deku and Kendo do go back and forth, and we do currently have outside, where Kirishima and Toga, they were scavenging through the cars, them at least going to break some windows. And we do actually have out back, where a few people they were looking around and seeing what they could possibly find. Now, we do actually have where everybody they would somewhat set up camp for a minute. And they're all at least talking about what is going to be happening. And Deku, he would try to explain. So far from what it does seem like, they aren't going to have a few hours of daylight after they come back. And driving at night is not something that he would like to do. Because it does seem like certain variants, they have intelligence. And they probably associate vehicles with lights if people are going out at night. So, the best idea might be to hold up here. And at least have camp in the back of the gas station. Or maybe on the roof. Hmm? Are you sure about that? Yeah. Out back, there's at least metal fences. And we can at least look around. On the roof, we have a good vantage point. So it would make sense. However, my main concern is once we get there. Deku walking outside, and at least going to turn his head and crane up, as he can see the dam somewhat in the distance. And he just go to stare towards it, and point it out, expressing to them. They do still have a long walk ahead, and right up there is their target. So, right now, they're going to be walking, and they'll only run in case things go bad. Because if they go bad, then they're going to need to go around and run through the forest. Everybody does at least know where the vehicles are, correct? And they know where this place is. Hmm? Yeah. Alright. Everybody knows how good their sense of direction is, right? Tell me, exactly how far away do you guys think that is? Maybe at least a few miles? I don't know. Well, I looked at a map earlier and it says that that place is about, I want to say 10 miles up the road. So far we've encountered Husk, and that's a good thing. However, the problem would be if we get too close to them. Right now, the Husk are, I don't even know how to describe it. Stringy? They're not the typical ones we deal with. Along with that, I want to say if we can get there, then that place, if it's empty, we can start at least talking to a few people and see what to do. If it's not, we have to start clearing it out. And if there are zombies there, and I mean a lot, then we might need to lead a herd away. Or at least a pack of them. Are you serious? If they're in a herd or a pack, whatever you want to call it, don't you think that they're going to be variants? Maybe at least, you know, spiders, smashers, stickers, and lockjaws? I don't know. However, I don't believe that there'd be a lot. These people, they went psycho, if I'm correct in that assumption. The guy that I gave the meat to, I know for a fact he may have gone crazy. He didn't seem to be there in the head all the way, anyways. So for right now, we need to stick to the plan. Now, Kirishima is going to bring it up. Deku doesn't exactly have a plan. He just has theories. Okay, Kirishima, I got it. Now, they do go to head towards the dam. And they do try to follow the road. And they do realize very quickly that something at the dam may have actually gone wrong. Because while they were expecting some minimal numbers of zombies getting there was where they started to encounter a little bit more. And in a higher density than they first thought. Now, everybody, luckily, they didn't have to use their firearms. However, some of their weapons did break. At least 2 of their spears. And eventually they did get there. They did just try to keep away from the zombies. And while that was somewhat easy, they did get outside the camp. And they were ready. So far things looked okay. However, there was one problem. There were no fires. There were no, bodies. And there didn't seem to be anything wrong. However, the gates, they were smashed open. And that was something that Deku, whenever he saw, his heart somewhat sank. There is something wrong here. Were these people attacked? No, that doesn't make sense. They have an army of people with guns. They're at least bigger than his group. Maybe at least twice or 3 times their size. Who the hell would attack these guys? It doesn't make a lot of sense. Right now, from looking around the area, this place is fortified. It should have been protected, but the gates are smashed. There's obviously stuff on the ground, but it doesn't seem to be blood either. Okay, there's a problem here. What happened? Take a looking around. The area's got, a bunch of weird stuff around it? So, why? How? Now, they're gonna start to walk around the area. As whenever he does go to look up, he does see a few pipes. And he does go to try and think that maybe if they follow them, they could find their way. And we do currently have Kirishima. While Deku was at least observing the area, he did go walking over to one of these piles. Him bending down and with his knife, going to reach out and poke it. As he was going to try and move it around. And see what this weird stuff might be. He thinks that it might be zombie skin, since it does have a tendency to melt away. However, from the consistency of it and the way it does move on the blade, he's not too sure. This seems to be off. I mean, it might have dried out or something here in the sun, just baking all day, but it seems to be almost cracking. Now, he finds it to be kind of strange. He's aware that it's some sort of, thing, but the fact is, It's like a liquid, but it's dry. So what does that mean? Now, Kirishima, he does go to ignore it for right now, as he does get onto his feet whenever he does hear something. Him running back over. And right now, he does look at the situation. Kendo, she is currently holding a knife up to somebody, and she has it firmly against their throat as she's holding them against a wall. And right now, there actually is Deku. Deku, he's currently standing over somebody, and he's forcing them directly into the ground. As we do at least have Toga. Toga, she's laying slumped over, and on her side, as she does go to look up towards Kirishima because she currently does have a wound in her torso. Him running over and asking if Toga's okay. To which she does at least try and tell him that she was stabbed. She's not sure she's going to be okay. And right now we do at least have Deku, who he does try to at least inform these people to calm down, calm down. And you do at least have the person Kendo is holding, who they're wanting to know how the hell they got through here and why they're here. Listen, we came here to investigate. The water in our city was turned off. I don't know what you're doing here. We told you. Listen, I've already given them supplies. I've told them everything. Please leave me alone. What? I told them. They didn't listen. Everything was bad. Everything's still bad. I don't know. Please, just help them. Are you okay? Now, Kendo, she is trying to think. This person, they're talking nonsense. And right now, from looking a bit closer at them, especially whenever you take into consideration their hand, it seems like they might be in the early stages of the infection. That's not good. And we do currently have the person Deku pinned down, as Deku's trying to ask them questions. And right now they do seem to be a little bit more lucid. What happened here? What do you mean? What didn't happen here? What? Okay, that was a question. Don't answer it in the form of a question. Now, Deku brings his hand up and he's going to pull off something, as he does go to inform the man. Right now, as he's going to at least pull the blade forwards, talking about how they want to know. And he's got at least 2 other friends here right now with guns. And for their other people, they are looking around more. If there are more of them, then it would be best to call them out and make sure they can all walk away from the situation without anybody being shot. Because right now, they already stabbed one of his friends. Now, the person just stared at Deku, as they do tell him, okay. What? Fine. I'll listen. It's, easy to explain. Sorry about your friend, though. She startled me. Okay. Kirishima, do you think she's gonna be okay? Oh, shit. I mean, I hope so. Are you doing okay? Aside from pain, I think I should be fine. I'm not too sure. It's just, her bringing her hand up to her torso and going to grab with a knife. Kirishima actually going to stop her and grabbing her hand before telling her that if she does pull that out, she's going to start bleeding more. Right now, it'd be best to leave it alone, because if she does pull it out, there's going to be a lot more blood and a little bit more chaos with it. So right now, that is staying there. Okay, fine. I'll keep that in mind the next time you get stabbed. I did take a bullet. Besides, I think a knife is easier. Really? Yeah, because I still get pain from my shoulder. Alright, so tell us what we want to know. Deku bring the blade down to their face and telling them, if they lie, he'll know. So don't. As Deku does turn to Kendo, telling her to kill the lady because she's already crazy. And Kendo, yeah, she does hate to do it. But this lady, she's either going to turn into a zombie variant or a husk. And right now, the fact that she's all cuckoo, this doesn't seem to be all bad. Now, whether Kendo does get to kill the person by just simply inserting the blade upwards into their face and into the brain, you do actually have the man who does go to someone to look at that before getting angry. And he does try to fight against Deku. However, Deku does go to press the blade further down into their face. Him actually starting to cut into the flesh and inform them that he wants answers. If he doesn't get them, he's going to kill him. So start talking. Fine. What's there to tell? This place controls the water. Not only do canals in the city get the water from here, not only do a few rivers and other places, there are other cities. We had a good handle on one that we thought we could still control. However, something happened a few months ago, and we didn't understand what it was. However, there was the fact that we discovered what it was. Isn't it kind of funny? You always think that a floating place, it would be a good place to go to during the apocalypse. However, it seemed like whenever it outbreaks there, it isn't a good idea. What? Okay, hang on. Floating place? Okay, hang on. Floating place. A city. You mentioned the outbreak. What the hell are you on about? Now, the man is going to smile at Deku before going to bring their hand up and attempting to try and attack Deku. However, Deku is going to quickly pull backwards before going to directly jab downwards with his left metal arm. And he does at least get to kill the guy, pulling his arm backwards and then going to turn. Talking about how, okay, so there's something going on. Okay, a floating place. No. Okay, that's... What is a floating place? Does he mean a landmass? A boat? Did a houseboat crash or... No, that sounds stupid. Well, it's floating and it's a place, but... Okay, so what actually went wrong? That'd be what Deku was wondering. And we do have where a loud shot rings out. And Deku and everybody inside this room, they do hear it. As Deku, he does get to run over to the door. Him opening it up and running outside to see what's going on. As further down, you do actually have the other members of their group, who they encountered the same type of people they currently just did. However, right now, zombies are on the way. Now, Deku, he does just go to bring up his rifle, and he does go to start aiming down the sights and trying to find out exactly which is a zombie and which is his people. As Deku is aiming down sights, he does actually watch as a sticker, it does actually go to throw at its arm, as its limb does go to reach out and grab onto the person. It's going to wrap around their limb before starting to bend it, and the person is going to scream out in pain, bringing their other arm up and they're going to stab outwards at the zombie, stabbing it upwards and into the face. However, they don't hit the brain. The thing's still trying to fight back against them. As another zombie, it actually is going to reach out and go to grab onto this person. This time being able to wrap one of its limbs around its neck and trying to pull the person. Now, Deku does watch that, aiming, and then he does go to click and fire. The moment Deku is going to have the shot ring out, you do actually have where it does fly through the air and hit the zombie. The person actually trying to fight against the one that does still have his arm. and going to reach out for the knife and pull it backwards. As another person has come running up and goes to smash the zombie directly in the head. As when they do so, they do look to see a few other zombies. Right now, the stickers, they're here. And then there are smashers. Okay, this isn't good. Now, Deku is going to bring his hand up and wave. As he does go to reach down towards his radio, and then go to bring it up. Are you guys okay? No, we're not. Something's wrong here. We tried to talk to somebody, but we just got attacked and they were infected nearby. I don't know. They didn't attack them. What? Yeah, you're not going to believe this. Some of these people, they're just walking straight through the infected. They're ignoring them. How is that possible? I don't know, but they're still losing their minds. I mean, I thought it was a miracle for a second, but the way that person just spoke, they didn't make any sense. Now, Deku's confused by that, and we do actually have where a loud roar can be heard. Before Selena's go flying through the air, and Deku just watch whenever he does go to turn his head, the side of the dam. Something directly flies into it, and he could hear it smash and collide before going to fly downwards and fall. Him thinking about exactly what that could have been. And right now, he doesn't want to check, as that loud roaring can be heard. And he does go to try and look around. Now, he does at least go to run inside and try and tell people what to do. Right now, they need to move. There's something outside. They need to head either deeper in the facility or hide here. And right now, he doesn't like their options. And everybody, they do just go to stare at Deku. As Deku, he does go to look around. Okay, this isn't good. Fuck. Okay, we need to get going. Right now. Deku going to walk back outside. However, whenever he does go to grab the door and go to open it, he does go to step out, turning his head. He does look left, and about 70 feet or so away, or let's just say 70 meters, you do at least have where something large walked into the camp. And right now Deku, whenever he did go to look right to see for his people, and then look left, he saw it. The moment he did see it, he immediately just went to go step backwards and go to close the door slowly. Him bringing his hand up and locking it, before going to walk over to one of the windows and go to pull down the blinds. As he just going to turn and hold up his finger. And everybody just going to stare at him. As he does go to bring his hand up and go to turn down his radio. Guys, head inside. What? Okay, you gotta be more specific. What's going on? Something just came through the gate. Large, massive, never seen it before. Get the fuck inside somewhere. Because otherwise, we're all dead. Now, the people, Deku, he does hear it. He does hear them trying to talk. And then communications cut. And then he does hear something charge past the area they're inside. And he does hear a few things. He thought he heard gunfire for a minute. However, it was hard to hear whenever a few of the cars, even some of the things like random crates and even just supplies, they were immediately thrown or just ran through by this creature. It either stomped on it or went through it. And right now there is no in between. This thing is rampaging, and it's trying to find something to consume. And that is not something that Deku, he wants to run into. Right now, that thing outside, it is massive. Fuck. We need to run. We need to get out of here when we can. What's out there? Something huge. Okay, Toga, can you move? Not really. However, I should be able to walk. As long as this isn't too far. Okay, let's see, I have an idea. That was fast. Izuku, do you want to think about it a little bit more? Or do you mind sharing with us first before we go doing something stupid? Okay, granted, this is crazy and, well, messed up, but have I ever told you guys about how I walked through the infected after Deku couldn't bring his arm, and is going to motion downwards as if chopping? Yeah, you told me about that a bit, and I believe that Momo explained a bit to me. You were covered in blood. Yeah, yeah, I think most of that blood was from people, the zombies infected. I think it was also some of my own infected blood. That's what I'm working with right now. But this theory is going to be hard to prove. And right now, I think I have an idea as to how to get out of here. Deku looking towards the two people that were alive. And we do actually at least have where a few people do try and think about it for a minute. They don't know what Deku's planning. However, the moment they realize what Deku's talking about, with being covered in blood and looking towards those two, some of them immediately think, no, 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 no. That's too far. They're not doing that. They are not doing that. Now, you do actually at least have Deku, who does try to explain. Okay, the thing outside, it is outside with stickers and smashers. If a smasher gets close into this area and smells them, or God forbid breaks through the door, it will kill them. Those things are strong. Along with that, people already know how they deal with them. They shoot for the head. They only shoot for the head with those things. They can't get close enough to stab it. So right now, if they don't kill, or at least do this, they're all going to die. And right now, Toga, she needs to get medical attention. Wouldn't Kirishima agree with that? Now, Kirishima, he is in a rock and a hard place. Fuck no. That is all he wants to say to this. Fuck no. However, they are 10 miles away from the gas station. And if he's about right, 15 miles away from the cars. So, they need to get back to the gas station. There was an office there. There was a back room, there was at least a little area, and there was a first aid kit. Granted, all it really had was bandages and some gauze, but right now, they need to at least look a bit more. Okay, let's see. Do any of you guys happen to have a needle or something? No, I don't. Um, what do you mean? Like a sewing needle? Uh, yeah. No, I don't either. Kiri, it's not gonna work. Okay, okay. There's gotta be another way. I mean, seriously, what what are we supposed to do? What if she gets infected by the blood? I mean, we just don't know. Kirishima, that's not how it works. The infected, their blood and saliva, it doesn't do that. It's the quirks. You know this. No, 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 I'm not taking the chance on that. Kirishima, it's my chance to take. Now, he does go look back towards Toga. And there actually is whenever there is a thud at the door. And everybody, yeah, they don't know what's on the other side of that door. However, right now, it sounds hungry. Now, we do actually at least have Deku, who quickly does go walking over and grabbing onto the desk. Him asking somebody to help get this over here. As Kendo is going to jump upwards and go to grab onto the other end. Her at least going to put it over in front of the door, as Deku does tell Kirishima, they need to worry about this later. Just don't cover the area. It's already bloody, so it, more than likely, will be fine. And Kirishima, yeah, he's got to prepare himself for this. This isn't something that he thought would need to be done today. And right now, yeah, he can do this. He's got this. Now, Deku and Kirishima, they would do this. They would get these people cut open. And, get what they need. They would cover their clothes in blood. And Deku, whenever he actually is going to throw some blood on his shoes and even onto the back of his pants, he does make sure he can cut himself right. Okay, so let's see. This might not be enough. Okay, Deku gonna look down at his hand, as he does go to bring his hand upwards to his face, covering his forehead and putting blood on his cheeks. And everybody, they do go to look at Deku. However, he does leave the area just above his chin and mouth uncovered. And he does inform all of them that it's worse than it smells. However, that might be a good thing. Okay, so what now? What do we do? Well, I'm gonna say we gotta step outside and see if it worked. Now, everybody, they do look at Deku. Right now, Toga, she's still getting some blood on her. And right now, she's trying to be careful. She's trying to avoid the areas where she was stabbed. And Kirishima, he is trying to help, trying to make sure that this can all be done right. And he's trying to leave his face unbloody. Now, Kirishima, he at least does go to throw some on his cheeks, and go to put some blood through his hair. That is the least he'll do to cover his body, or at least his head. He doesn't at least want this stuff in his eyes, nor in his nose. Okay. Are we ready? Yeah. Okay. You guys, get Toga out of here. Get through the gate, I'll meet up with you then. Okay? Yeah, we can do that. Now, Deku and Kendo do move the desk, as Deku does go to walk outside. And the moment Deku does go to walk outside, he does take 5 steps out. Now, Deku, he does go to bring his hand up, and at least inform everybody that it's safe to come out, because it did actually work. And right now, Kirishima, he is still worried. Toga, she was stabbed, and from the looks of it, it isn't good. The fact right now that they're covered in blood doesn't help either. And he does go to help Toga up, as Kendo, she does go to walk outside with a rifle ready. Her going to at least look towards that large creature, as so does Deku. Right now, he's trying to cover them. And so is Kendo. Her going to turn and run off to try and protect Kirishima and Toga. And there is actually where Kirishima, he is trying to be a little bit fast. Okay, the gate's just 70 meters away. Come on. Shit. Okay, now, Kirishima does try to dodge some of the infected. Some of the smaller ones came in after this thing. And right now, there are quite a bit of them. Okay. We're almost there. Kirishima, shut up. Okay, no, it's alright. Okay, we're gonna get out of this. Kirishima going to throw out his left foot. Him going to slip. As the moment he does go to slip backwards. As he accidentally does go to, with most of his focus carrying Toga, almost push her forwards. And there is actually where Kirishima, he does go backwards in Toga. She tries to maintain her balance, her falling forwards and slumping onto her arms and knees, As one of her elbows hit the ground, she's going to somewhat scream out in pain. Now, Kirishima, he does go to somewhat get up. Holding onto his head, he's going to make his way towards Toga. However, the moment he does go to reach out for her and go to try and stand onto his legs, there is whenever a sticker does directly go to reach out. It's going to throw itself down onto Toga and wrap its tendrils around her, as it does go to take a bite into the top of the back of her neck, and she's going to scream out in pain. Now, Kirishima, he does go to yell, and the moment he does yell, Deku, he does go to turn around hearing that. Shit. Now, Kendo does come running over, as before she can even make it to Toga, another one of these creatures do throw itself down on top of her. And Kirishima, he's starting to scream out and yell. Him bring up his rifle and going to shoot one of these creatures. And Deku, the moment he did at least go to watch Kirishima do that, there was a ready to go to throw himself to the right. Him running out of the way of the path he knows already is going to come up barreling towards them. Now, before Kirishima can even do anything, this is what he does know happens. He hears a loud scream, and he does go to look up to see this thing charging at them. And Kendo, she does go diving to the ground and to the right. As Kirishima, yeah. Right now his only instinct was to run. And he did go to do so. The moment he went running, there was where this thing did go to stomp its way through a car. And it did go running over to the stickers. It's going to reach down and go to rip them both apart. It's ripping apart the dead one's body before pulling up the one that was eating Toga. And whenever it did go to do that, it does go to rip it apart and leave it bloody. It's going to start biting into these two creatures, before it does go to look down and see the bloody mess where Toga is. Those things got a few good bites on her, and right now, she's laying there with her knife wound fully, hurt. The knife got driven deeper, and she is not in a good situation, as the thing does go to reach down and grab onto her leg. And the moment it does, she does go to somewhat slump onto her side, going to bring up her gun, and trying to fire at the creature. As whenever it does go to take this damage, she's going to stare at it. It's looking at her. Now, Deku and Kendo, they're both frozen. Kendo, she was able to get onto her, back and scoot away. Her backing up and into a car. As there actually is Kirishima. Right now he's on the ground watching, as this thing is going to try and carry her away. However, whenever she did start to fire at this thing, more attention was drawn to them. Zombies started to attack this thing. And there was whenever it just got swarmed. And so did Toga. Now, Toga does start to scream out. And there is actually Kirishima. Deku, he does go to look at him as he's going to try to stand back up, bring up his weapons, and going to try and fire at these things. And Deku, he does go to run over. Before Kirishima could fully put himself together to pull the trigger, because he thinks he might hit Toga, Deku just going to grab onto the rifle. Him grabbing onto the front of it, and then going to just pull it up. And out of Kirishima's hands, bring up his metal arm and smacking him across the face. As he does tell him that they need to get out of here, and she's dead. Now, Kirishima is just going to turn and look towards Deku. As Deku does go to, with his real hand him back the rifle, grabbing onto his shirt and going to pull him. As right now these three, they do start running. They get the hell out of here. And by the time they reach the gas station, it's already gotten dark. Now, this is a bit of a problem. The sun started going down a bit earlier, and they thought they had a bit more light. If they would have stayed at the factory and were able to search it a bit, at least maybe an hour or so, they would have gotten here whenever the sun was fully over the horizon, and they would have been left with just the moonlight. Shit. That'd be what Deku to say. Right now, he's laying back against the counter, and there actually is Kirishima across from him and Kendo laying down. Kendo, she used some of her water to wash herself off, get the blood off of her face, and at least change into a pair of clothes that, while they were dirty, they didn't have as much blood on them. Now, there is actually Kirishima, who he does just sit there, still traumatized by what he saw. He saw Toga die. Toga, she was hurt. It was all his fault. He tripped. He fucking tripped. And that killed her. I mean, this just doesn't, the things he saved her, but that the huge fucking thing, it just, Jesus Christ. Now, Neko just looked directly at Kirishima, and he does at least try to tell him it's gonna be okay. Hey. What? I'm sorry. Don't. Just don't. I'm not talking to you. I could have saved her, you know. No, you couldn't, Kirishima. Yes, I could have. If you just given me a second, given me a minute. I mean, I had it. I could have stopped it. I mean, the sticker, it was on her, but the other one, I killed it. Kirishima, are you even listening to what you're saying? I am, yeah. If I just shot it again, I could have helped her, gotten her to safety, pulled her to the side. I could have, you would have gotten us all killed. What? Kirishima, the moment that thing came charging at us, she was dead. No, she wasn't. Kirishima, she was dead. I won't lie to you. I won't give you a comforting lie. Alright? Listen. Talk to me. Come on. That's what we're gonna do, right? If we have problems, we talk to each other. We confide in each other. Kirishima, I'm sorry. Okay? It was to save our lives. She wouldn't want you to die. Not like that. I mean, Jesus Christ. I just didn't expect that. That thing, it was huge. Yeah, it was. Listen, Kirishima, I'm sorry. We had to go. She could have been saved. No, she couldn't have, Kirishima. Look at me. I'm not gonna bullshit you. Excuse me? Kirishima, she was dead. The moment the stickers got her, she was zombie food. I'm sorry, that's... Fuck. God damn it. That's the bluntest way I can put it, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm sorry. We lost her. Yeah. Now, Kirishima does try to register the words he just said. They lost her. That thing. It had her by her leg. It pulled her away and it was going to kill her. And she got swarmed. He was told to leave her. She was dead. He could have saved her. It was all Deku's fault. Deku, he got them into this. He told them to run. He tripped, yeah, but it was Deku. Deku stopped him from saving Toga. Toga saved him. That time back, she saved him. She saved his life. He would have done it if it wasn't for her. She's the reason he's still here today. and he failed to return the favor. And right now, he does want to go to grit his teeth, as he thinks about what to do. Right now in his mind, it's all twisted around. He thinks that Toga was able to be saved. Deku stopped it though. He chose to save his own skin rather than his own friends. Is that the type of guy he's turning into? Now, Kirishima does his talk to Deku, telling him that he wants them to talk. Good. It's been a while, hasn't it? Yeah, it has. Can can we go outside? Yeah, Kendo's asleep. Yeah, she is. Now, we do actually at least have outside. Where Kirishima, he does want to talk to Deku. Truthfully, he does. But he just wants to understand what type of guy his friends turned into. And the two both start to talk. He tries to talk to Deku about a few things. And he doesn't even ask him what he might do if they can't turn the water back on. And Deku, yeah. Right now, he does try to at least break it down to Kirishima. Kirishima knows there are a few factions trying to join theirs. However, right now, with the water turned off, that would be more water they're wasting. And Deku doesn't put it exactly that way, but Kirishima, he takes it that way. Deku is concerned about them, nobody else. If it means leaving other people to die of thirst or die of hunger, he doesn't seem to really care. That's what he's taking away from this. Deku will save them, not those people. And right now, Kirishima, he does try and think about it all. He does go to pull his weapon. He pulls his sidearm. And whenever he does get to stand up, Deku does look at him. Kirishima's got his gun. And that's not good. Kirishima? You know, man, I'm sorry. You're my best friend. But I loved her. She could have been saved. And you wouldn't let me do it. I'm sorry. Kirishima going to turn around. Now, Kirishima, he does gotta bring the gun up. And before he even does fully turn around and do this, he was raising the gun up. Him almost there. He almost got to Deku. However, Deku, he cleared 3 or 4 steps in between them. And he used the retractable blade on the top of his metal arm to stab it into Kirishima. And the moment Kirishima and Deku, they collided, Kirishima, he let the gun go off. As whenever Deku was found by Kendo, there was the current scene. Deku, him and Kirishima are both in the dirt, and Deku is standing on top of him. Right now, Kirishima, he has a gun by his arm, or by his hand, and the shot that rang out, it came from back here. And then there's Deku. Deku going to pull back his arm, and Kendo does watch on, her somewhat going to bring her hands up to cover her mouth, as she does have tears roll down her face. Deku, he just killed Kirishima. And right now, Deku just going to slump backwards and go to sit down, as he does just go to bring his hand up to his head. Jesus. Now, Deku, he does just sit there. And Kendo, yeah. She is worried. She knew the two went out to talk, but she didn't know that this is what they meant by it. Now, Deku, he does go look towards Kendo. As Kendo, she can actually see that he is starting to tear up. And she is going to run over to him. Ask him what happened. He just snapped. He was going to shoot me. He brought me out here to kill me. my my best friend brought me out here to kill me. Now, Kendo, she can tell at Deku he's hysterical. And right now, he's trying to process it. This is a very unhealthy way to do it. But, yeah. She knew that Kirishima was disturbed. But to think that he would go so far as to do this, it just shows something else. And right now, they need to get moving. They might need to get a beeline for the truck. It might be 5 miles away. However, they have the moonlight. And they have the keys. If they get there, they can sleep inside the car. And right now, it's either that, or they head to the roof and stay quiet till sunrise. Because that sound, it's going to draw them in. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. Have an amazing night.